Hello everyone, this is Martin. Welcome to another weekly video, and we're going to be looking at finding trading opportunities for this coming week. We're talking about August the 20th to the 24th, and I just want to let you know that last week I had 4 winning trades and 1 losing trade. Now the losing trade, I only lost about 40 pips on that, so that wasn't a big loss, and including that loss, there's still an opportunity to make at least 171 pips. It was a very flat trading week last week. There wasn't much volatility or movement at all, and so let's hope that this week there are a lot more trading opportunities. Okay, here's the risk disclaimer. I always want to talk about this just briefly before we start the video presentation. And remember, all the weekly videos are done for educational purposes. I'm trying to help you become a better trader by following the information I provide you and the trade levels and the trading opportunities. So view the video at your own risk, and always remember, don't trade or never trade with more than 1 to 2% of your entire account balance, and that goes for each and every trade that you take. Okay, let's hop right to the Euro USD daily chart. This is the first chart currency pair I'm going to talk about, and you can see this red vertical line and the arrow. So this is what happened last week. Okay, so this vertical line is actually the previous Friday of the previous week. So the first candle, you can see it's a white bullish candle, fairly small candle, but that was the trading that happened on when the markets open on Sunday, and including Monday. The next candle is Tuesday's trading, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Now this was one of the pairs where I actually made some pretty good money. And take a look right here. I normally don't trade on the first day, Sunday and Monday. And you can see the first trading day after the trading market opened on the weekend, we had a bullish candle right here. Okay. However, I did have, and I've left this on the chart, I mentioned in last week's video, I'm looking for sells below 113.76. And so after this candle here, I was watching the candle on Tuesday, Tuesday's trading activity. I had a sell stop just below this right here, and you see this black candle that closed on the Tuesday. That was where I made 34 pips. However, it didn't stop there. Now take a look at the turnaround. I also mentioned that watch and beware of a bounce above 112.77, which was right here, right? So after Tuesday's trading, take a look at this black candle. This was Tuesday's activity. Okay, it closed in a bearish pattern, bearish candle. Then on Wednesday we had a doji, which meant that the buyers were coming in and challenging the sellers. So basically we want to wait to see what happens. Possible turnaround, which I mentioned in last week's video, above 112.77. Then I also mentioned in last week's video, watch for the first white bullish candle and get in after that. There's the white bullish candle that happened on a Thursday. I got in right there, and this is what I made. And this final candle on a Friday was good for approximately 83 pips. So 83 pips on top of the third, this black candle on top of the 34 pips. That was a pretty good, 2 good trades within the same week on the daily chart, just because of the bounce and the turnaround. Okay, so for this week, I'm looking for buys above 114.57 right there, and sells below 112.77. That's the Euro USD. Let's move on to the British Pound USD, and you can see price came down pretty heavily right here. You can see from here we had, with this candle right here, this was a good dominant bearish candle. Good, a lot of volume came in and drove price all the way down. I had these 2 lines drawn in already on my last week's video, and I said watch for a turnaround right around there, and it did. Okay, it did, and you can see we had a kind of a nice bullish candle off the bounce here on Friday. However, take a look at this trend line right here. You can see the trend line that touches there. Okay, so there's not much room to the upside. I've got this trend line based on this channel, this bearish channel. So I wouldn't take a buy trade just yet. Okay, not confident in that. However, I would be looking at buys above 128.56 to the upside, and to the downside, price could reverse quite quickly, and I'd be looking at sells below 126.38. Okay, let me just take that off, and let's get on to the next chart. Australian USD. Okay, to understand this, we had a huge bounce on this pair, and you can see again, as in the previous couple of pairs, there's the doji right there. So price came down heavily. There's the doji. So there's weakening of the sellers here. Buyers came in there. You could have gotten in right there. Okay, let me just draw. So after this, the first white bullish candle, after the doji, this is actually a good candlestick price pattern right here that you could follow. And right there, getting in right there, you would have made all those pips. So that would have been a good money maker. And in fact, this was good for around, well, I did say a sell below 0.7278. So I also made money on this one for about 37 pips. That was my last week's video, but I didn't talk about the counter trend buy right over here, but I'm showing you whenever you see this pattern right here where price comes down heavily, so we have some bearish candles in a row, then we have a doji, then a white bullish candle right after the doji, you can get in there. Your stop loss would be there. And at least try for 1-to-1 risk to reward, but in this case would have worked out really nicely. Okay, but right now I'm looking for buys above 0.7326 to the upside for the upside to continue. Otherwise, price may come back a little higher up to this area and then bounce lower again, and then look for sells below 0.7245. Okay, let's take all that off. Let's get on to the next chart, which is gold. And gold had the turnaround, you can see right there. And that, and let me just draw that in. So you can see this turnaround, same pattern, right? A big bearish, impulsive move down, a pause in the markets where the buyers and sellers are battling it out right here. So nobody's winning the battle right there. Then all of a sudden, the buyers managed to overtake the sellers, and I believe price is going to go a bit higher again. Take a look right here. We've got some sideways market right there. So I believe from here, price could go up to here to at least retest this area of resistance. Okay, so, and because price turned around here, let me just go back. Because of this, because of the play on gold here, you can see that impacted the Australian dollar, so it helped the Australian dollar bounce higher as well in tandem with gold. Australia is tied into the gold market. That's one of the commodities that makes Australian currency strong. Okay, so let's go right on to the New Zealand USD, and you can see here we had I had drawn this in previously. Okay, you can see that it is a kind of a pennant, but finally we had a breakdown to the downside, big impulsive move, and again here. And then take a look. This is candlestick price action. Take a look at these small candlesticks here. Doji here, doji here. This was Tuesday, Wednesday trading. A kind of a little bit of a bearish doji here, and then all of a sudden we had a kind of a half decent bullish move higher. So at least it's showing that buyers are coming into the market, and that you could have also have made a counter trend trade right there and possibly taken those pips off the table. So that again is a rounding or frying pan pattern, and it's a pattern that's based just purely on candlesticks, but again, there's very little momentum going down. You can see the turnaround right here on the lower indicators. So for this week, looking for buys above 0.6644 because I believe price is going to continue going higher, and we're going to retest. Let me just take that off. Retest this this bottom or lower trend line. So I believe price is going to go higher to retest this area. Okay. And to the downside, sells below 0.6543. Okay, so that takes care of that currency pair. Now we get to the US CAD. US CAD here really has tested the upper trend line of this bearish, you see this bearish channel right here. And I just want to show you, so we had a upward movement. Okay, this is price action, guys. Then we formed the channel, and I believe eventually price is going to break higher. Look for buys above 130.175. Look for sells below 129.74. So I believe price is going to go higher. It's just right now we're stuck in another sideways channel. So look for a breakout either to the upside or to the downside. Okay, let's take that off. Go on to the next one. The US CAD, obviously this pair here, the Canadian dollar is tied into oil, whereas the Australian dollar is tied into gold. So let's take a look to see what gold, let's take a look to see what oil did. And here's oil. You can see again, massive drop in price. I had to take a look right here, guys. Just draw that line across. This is support, previous support. So again, that's one thing you guys got to do is take a look always to the left side of your chart. Okay, here's the left side, and draw in your support or resistance. In this case, this is support. Okay, and watch what happens at support. So here price came down but then bounced higher. Okay, so it did not create a lower low from the previous support here. So and this happened because oil obviously gained some strength, giving strength to the Canadian dollar. You can take a look at the last chart as well, but that doesn't mean that oil is going to keep going up and up and up. It just means that right here oil could just go up a bit and then come back down again, and we could be going sideways for a bit. But look for a break below here. Look for a break below here, or a break above this area right there. Okay, and that is oil. Let's go on to the US Swiss franc. Okay, you can see here I've drawn in this trend line, okay, showing you support. So there's pretty good support. You can see every time a candle touched the bottom, it kind of bounced higher, but we haven't broken this here. So the bottoms or the prices is we're making higher lows. Okay, we're making higher lows, but price is not making higher highs. So there's a lot of pressure on for the buyers to push it higher. A lot of pressure against the sellers here. So I believe eventually price is going to go higher. Look for buys above 0.9987. And for me to be confident that price is dropping, which I don't think it would be, I look for sells below 0.9860. Okay, so that is that currency pair. Now we move to US Japanese yen. And again, you can see here price, take a look at the left side. Price made a higher high. Price made a higher high. Finally, it dropped. Okay, here's the bottom here. So this is support. Okay, always look to your left. Here's support. prices dropped, price went up, down, did not break support, previous support, price went up. So all of a sudden we can draw an upper trend line. So you can see the highs are becoming lower, okay? You can see, so we're making lower highs, but our lows are not, we're not going lower. We're not making lower lows. So look for a breakout. However, in this case, I'm waiting for a breakout below. You see this red dashed line? That's the 200 SMA. That's a very strong, dynamic support. Okay, moving averages can and do provide strong levels of support. They're dynamic. They're not static. So because they move around with price action, but here's support right there. And there's the lower trend line. So look for sells below 109.66. And to the upside, price would have to come all the way above here, 111.34, for price to go higher. So you can look at that or look at this for a downward movement. Okay, so I've got the levels in there for you. Let's take all that off and let's get on to some cross pairs. So those are the major pairs. There's 7 major pairs that receive most of the trading action throughout the week. And now we get to a cross pair. And the first one I want to discuss is the euro, right here, the euro British pound. And again, you can see with this one, we also have be making a upward channel. So prices basically be making higher highs, okay, higher highs. And the lows were making higher lows. So it's kind of a nice up and down movement. It's pretty systematic here, and I believe from here price is gonna go higher, okay, and that's why I've got buys above 0.8977. For sells, you would look at sells below 0.8878. Many weeks ago, I talked about the lower trend line here, okay, and you can see price here, okay, you can see price there. So price has shifted from a kind of a sideways consolidation within this zone here. All of a sudden, price broke out, and now is starting to make higher highs. So you can see there's better momentum and trend to the upside here, okay. Let's take a look at the next pair, cross pair, Euro Japanese yen, and you can see way back here we had a break of the trend line, okay, and again, if you want to do this, we had a break of structure. Take a look to the left here. This is a support. Here we had a nice, a very nice bearish candle that happened on the previous Friday, and then this is what happened last week. And you can see price basically is just going sideways, okay, sideways right now. So don't really have any major thoughts on this currency pair except look for buys above 127.12 and sells below 124.46, okay. And we're almost finished. We're going to EURAUD, second last pair. So we had a breakdown below the below this pennant here. This is the lower trend line. So this candle gave us it's a big dominant candle breakdown here, but notice it stopped right at around the this red dash line. This acts, the 200 SMA acts as really good support. Price just struggled to go down much further. In fact, let's take a look so we can draw, see this pattern. So it's really stuck here, okay, stuck here. And if you believe price is going to go higher, then look for buys above 157.55 and to the downside below 156.27. I'm favoring the down. My bias is to the downside. Let me just move that off. I'll tell you why. We have pink below blue, and price also closed below the 200 SMA. So there is downward pressure, and you would have to wait though to see if price comes below here for you to make a move. Okay, now the final pair, and that is the British pound Japanese yen. You can see here price did make a pretty big drop for the past couple of weeks, but now it's bottoming out. We have a doji on the Friday. You can see right here. Take a look at this candle. You know, there was an up candle, white candle. Then we had a doji. So again, we're stuck here. The buyers and sellers are having a pretty good battle going on. Sellers won on the Wednesday here. Thursday, small little white bullish candle. So that was Thursday. Buyers were coming back in. On Friday, we have a stalemate again between the buyers and the sellers. So that right now, price is really going just sideways. It's consolidating, a bit of a rest here. And so if you are thinking for a counter trend move, you'd have to wait till price comes all the way about 142.55. I am favoring to the downside, but price could still go sideways for a while. So to the downside, I'm looking for sells below 139.68. Okay, so that takes care of all the currency pairs that I want to talk about. And really quickly, for anyone that has not gotten my free 33-page ebook, it's all about this program. What you see here, it's all about these charts. They're color coded. You can see pink below blue, which means look for sells. And the best place to look for a sell is after a pullback. So price came back up, and look for a pullback, and you know, you would have made some pips there. And same here, take a look here. Price broke below support here, pink below blue. Look for sells only, and you would have made some pretty good pips there. I mean, really, it's as simple as that. Just looking for the colors, and then it pretty well tells you which way the trend is moving. So if you want more information on this, it's called Forex Success in 5 Weeks. Email me. Here's my email address, mskyj007@gmail.com. My name's Martin. And don't forget to click on the subscribe button on YouTube, and also click the like buttons. Okay, so take care, everyone. And we'll look forward to talking to you again next week's video. Take care. Bye for now.